Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's tutorial. This week I'm going to show you a cool trick that I kind of picked up recently. It's something that I was looking to do a while back to create some reports that you can kind of anonymize so you don't know who the other athletes are in your reports. You could give that to a player so they can compare themselves, but they don't know who's who and so on. This is a cool trick that I found on a YouTube channel called Guy in a Cube. I'll link the video down in the description below, so you guys can take a look as well, because they have a few other little tricks on the end of the video that you might want to use. So for this video, what we're going to do is we've got some random testing data that I had, and in this testing data, which I made up, there's just sort of a number of athletes and a few tests. But one of the things we want to do is be able to highlight a bar based on a selection in a slicer. So to do that, what you're probably thinking, we have to have a table that has no relationship, because we can't really do it with a related table. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this relationship so that we can do that. So now we've just got a testing data table and an athlete table. So to make it really simple, let's just add our athlete slicer, and we'll just make this a drop down, and we're just going to leave it like that for now, really simple. And then we'll just use a bar chart, which I'll just place here. And all we want to do is, because we want this to show the data from our testing data table, we're going to use our athlete number on our y-axis, and we'll just choose some counter movement jumped to add on to the other. But the one thing we want to do is we'll just filter it to a specific date. So we'll just use one day, and we'll just pick the first one. Or let's pick the one with the most athletes. Let's do that. There we go. Now we won't make any changes to this. We're just going to leave it as is and have it, because we obviously want to have sort of the max jump height. There is only one per player, but we'll change that to there. And so now we can go away and we can add in our measure, so we can change the color. So that's what we're going to do today. So what we'll do is we'll just use Tabular Editor so we can filter it all nicely. And all we're going to do is just go into our table, and we'll just use let's use the athlete table. Measure, and we're just going to call it highlighted bar. And in this, we're just going to add in var. This is something they do as well, using a little underscore, which I thought made sense. So let's do that. We'll go values. So this means you could select multiple athletes if you wanted to. And so what we're going to do is use the athlete table, and we'll use the athlete column as well. And then we're going to choose athlete to highlight. And for this one, we're going to use selected value. And we're going to get that from our testing data table, because that's what's in our y-axis. And then we're going to use as well a isFiltered function, just to see is the table filtered or not, and this will help us identify sort of just the I guess the base color that we want everyone to be if nothing is selected. And then to get our value, what we're going to use is a switch formula. So let's do that here. So switch, I'm going to use true, because we want to find when is the first correct statement. And then the first thing we're going to do is just like not, and we're going to use is filtered to see if it's not filtered, basically. And then if it's not, we're going to use one particular color. So this color will be sort of the base color for everything. Oops. And this should not be an equal sign in a switch statement. And then the next one we want to see is the athlete to highlight in our selected athletes values. And we're also going to use the as fit here as well. If all of those conditions are met, we're going to have a different color. Well, in this scenario, we're going to have our base color from the top. So if none of those conditions are met, what you'll have is a different color. So that'll be for the unselected athletes. And then what we'll do is return, I'm going to hit format in a second. We'll return our value and we're going to save this here. So there is our value. So now we've got it here in our athlete table. We're going to go to data colors for our bar chart, hit the formula, and we're going to change this to field value. And then we're going to go into our athlete table and highlighted bar. So at the moment we have no one selected, so it's not going to highlight anything. When we select someone, it's going to find them and it's going to filter, but it's going to look like a highlight instead. So any athlete we choose, it's going to change the color of their bar. One of the cool things about this one is you can select multiple athletes as well, as long as they exist, obviously in the graph, and you'll see them appear. To make this truly anonymized, you can hide the y-axis. If you want to, you can add some data labels in the end. But to make it even nicer, you would probably have them all on the same spot, so I'd go inside base and make it as easy to read as possible. And then I would also add probably a measure to make a title at the top. But otherwise, I hope you guys found this video useful. As I said, I will link the video from Guy in a Cube in the description below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe below, and make sure you're looking out for future videos where we will continue to power performance through data. Thank you.